Welcome to a brand new podcast, and this is the Oracle 19, and my name is Greatness. For any business inquiries, you can email us at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com if you want to put your business on this platform. And that's the same email if you want to make a free will offering. Again, that's evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. We definitely could use your support. And you can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is www.evolutionoflondon.com, where we have a whole wide range of products for men's, kids, ladies' clothing, jewelry, artwork, cologne, perfume, much more. That's www.evolutionoflondon.com. And also check out evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-O-R-E. There we have DVDs, lotions, soaps, and clothes, and much more. So evolutionoflondon.store. And finally, evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G. There you'll find custom clothing, accessories, digital products as far as business and personal use. That's evolutionoflondon.org. We have different links to other affiliates, so definitely support us at www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. So for different links to our affiliates, you have that, linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. And we do have videos that is not posted on YouTube, so you go to our Patreon channel, www.patreon.com/evolutionoflondon for videos, digital artwork, consulting services as well. And we are on rumble.com. You go and type in the Oracle 19 and you'll find us on rumble.com. So we have videos there as well, and we building on Rumble. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to our platform there. Check out the company Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles from scented to unscented. And if you want to place an order, you can email them at royalty9international@gmail.com. So, again, from the scented candles, you will find eucalyptus, frankincense, myrrh, jasmine, vanilla, rose, just to name a few. So, email them at royalty9international@gmail.com if you want to place an order, or you can check out their website, www.royalty9international.com. And you'll find them on social media, TikTok and Instagram, Royalty 9 International. So definitely support their luxury candles, 100% soy wax, 12-ounce jars, different designs, colors. So support Royalty 9 International. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. So if you want to book a consultation, you can email him at healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. That's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And you can support his merchandise, www.wjaaccessories.org for custom clothes, accessories, digital products as well. And again, that's www.wjaaccessories.org. Support DJ Panthro. He's an international DJ in Southwestern Ontario, one of the best DJs in Southwestern Ontario. And you can find him on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, DJ Panthro 519. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to his platform. And if you want to book for him to come to your venue or be at your venue, you can email him at djpanthro519@gmail.com. That's djpanthro, PANTHRO519@gmail.com. Music. Cheap Limousine on YouTube have a whole wide range of different beats. So definitely support his brand. Once you go to his website, or I should say his YouTube page, you will see his other social media sites. So like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And continuing to train on YouTube, the Greatness 19 channel. That's our educational channel. We have over 520 videos to open up your third eye. And you can shop there as well on the Greatness 19 channel. So we have a lot of different links. So I need you guys to like, subscribe, and share, and pass the word worldwide, because we want it to grow and keep growing. So I need your guys' support with that. So that's the Greatness 19 channel on YouTube, and also our health and wellness channel, which is Mr. Evolution of London. And we have a lot of videos on health and wellness, so support that. Like, subscribe, and share to Mr. Evolution of London. Now, I need your guys to also check out the Finishing Group, located in Toronto, Ontario. And their telephone number is 647-783-3430. Again, that's 647-783-3430. Ask for Sam, And again, they can help assist you in fixing and upgrading your kitchen cabinets, and spray painting, and external as well as internal spray painting, refacing, countertops, kitchen renovations, bathroom renovations, and as I mentioned, interior or exterior painting services as well, plastering, flooring, and much, much more. So check out the Finishing Group, and you can email them at stainingbricks@gmail.com. That's staining, STAINING, bricks, BRICKS, @gmail.com. So again, that's the Finishing Group. And support Africans Supporting Africans Corporation. They're professional teachers from all over the world. And they're located at 2780 East Fowler Avenue, and that's Suite 2028, Tampa, Florida. Zip code 33612. And you can find them on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Online tutoring service, and their goal is to provide assistance for online for your needs, and you can check them throughout their website, www.tutorsforyou.org or www.asa-corp.org. And you can ask for Lamar Callahan. And finally, their telephone number is area code 813-743-3273 or 833-599-7272. And again, that's the Africans Supporting Africans Corp. Now, the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Anchor.fm. Now, we're on Spotify for podcasters. Now, that's the new name now. Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon Music, just to name a few. So anything I haven't mentioned would be in the description box of the Oracle 19 podcast, the Greatness 19 channel on YouTube, as well as Mr. Evolution of London on YouTube, and rumble.com. You type in the Oracle 19, information will be in the description box on that. And finally, www.theoracle19radio.com. All right, I believe that covered the business aspect of things. Always like to get the business aspect of things out the way. So many things I have to regurgitate from me to you, so make sure I'm focused with that. Today, going to be definitely a little triggering. Is Pride Month your month? Is Pride Month your month? Now, again, we have Pride Month. It already started and underway for the month of June. And people is celebrating worldwide. That is part of I call it the LGBT to the fifth power community, because there's so many different letters. And I really don't follow up with it, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm bringing a little humor, but it's just not me to follow. But I do understand it, and I am aware. But I'm going to talk about this topic. And within the community is celebrated. Many communities or many different locations, states, countries, provinces all over the world for this month. And it is what it is. But here's the thing. Is it your particular month? Not everybody is in agreement of the LGBT community. And my question for me to you, do people have that right to not agree? Because this is a dying art right now, because this North America is pushing the ideologies of the gay community. How would I say that? Or why would I say that? Because even state buildings, federal buildings, schools have the flag, the rainbow flag. And by the way, is this is this an agenda? Why is it just so put out there? That's my question for me to you. And by the way, I got to give a shout out for this song, Yojic Beats. Forgot to mention Yojic Beats on YouTube. I forgot to mention that. Just have to give a shout out. You can find him on YouTube. YOGIC Beats. So, there you go. Back to what I was talking about. Nowadays, if you disagree with this, I feel, agenda, you shamed, you ostracized, you made to be a bad person. People look at you funny. You're not you disagree. What are you, discriminating? That's the first thing people throw up. You either bullying. They'll bring these little buzzwords: bullying, discriminating, being hateful, all because you don't agree of this month. Now, people will say, well, what about, let's say, Black History Month? Some people won't agree to that. You have a choice. You don't have to agree. But this, in my opinion, is a little different than no comparison to the Black atrocities that happened from slavery and even up to now. There's no comparison. But nowadays it's being compared to the Black experience, but it's not. My personal opinion. And I would say not even my personal opinion, but fact. Because the homosexual community wasn't put in slavery. So even some Black people that are homosexuals will say, well, I'm discriminated twice. I'm Black and I'm a homosexual. No, you really looked upon as Black first. Because, mind you, being Black in North America, you still a target. Homosexual or not. That's number one. Put it like this. Why I could say this? Let's say, for example, you have two people, two males, same age, one Black, one white. And let's say the Black man, let's say you, is a homosexual. You don't say anything. Your face is shown. And the white man, his face is shown, he don't say anything. Give a poll within the white community. Who do they think is the criminal within the two? Nobody's saying anything. You a Black man but a homosexual. The white man, he's straight, heterosexual. But you don't say anything. Who would be rated within the community, the white community, as a criminal if you had to judge? And you would get, majority will say you, Black man, regardless of you being a homosexual. So don't tell me being Black is fading. And the LGBT community is on same par as being a Black man. And I'm dealing with the current times. I'm not going back to slavery. We just dealing with the current times. I just threw it out there previously about slavery. Because again, being a slave, being a homosexual today, you're not enslaved. You was never put in slavery. Discriminated, but not put in slavery. Not have a history of slavery per se, systematically. So it can't be no comparison. But within the United States laws, they intertwining the laws into the civil rights of 1964. Just by the Equality Act. And that's basically the U.S. is a gender law protecting the LGBT community. And they intertwining that with the Civil Rights Act of 1964, as I mentioned. So it's giving the LGBT community more of rights in this day and time. It is what it is. I'm not saying right, wrong, up and down. I'm just saying this is what it is. But here, I have a problem with the LGBT community. And this is a lot of let's get right to it. A lot of the homosexuals out here does this. They bully a lot. They push their agenda a lot. What do I mean? On the job, at schools, in everyday life, sashaying all over the place. At the job days, you could be whoever you want to be, because we're in the land of sin, in my opinion. So me personally, I couldn't care less of what you want to be. You could say you are fly for all that. I care. Long as you don't infringe your belief system, your rights on me and my family. That's where I have a problem. And I always have a problem with that. And I talked about that on quite a few different shows. The homosexual community infringing their belief systems on me and mine. And when I talk about that, I'm saying collectively, because you have a lot of heterosexual men and women let's start within the workplace. Heterosexuals, do you think, okay, let's backtrack here, the heterosexuals, well, the LGBT, the homosexuals, because I don't like to all the time be politically correct. We just get right to it. The homosexuals have their rights and belief systems. No problem, fantastic. But do you think heterosexuals deserve rights too? And you can say, well, they have rights already. Well, is it being infringed by the homosexual community? When, for example, at the job, do a homosexual man or woman have a right to, let's say, for example, give you maybe a few examples. Let's say it's Pride Month and you work at let's say a bank, and they issue pride shirts. Now, let's say, for example, you have a religious belief system and you don't support the LGBT community because you feel it infringe your rights. You got to wear that rainbow shirt at the job, which shows that you support that, because the company supports that. So you're supposed to support that. Is that right or wrong? Do I have the right to not wear the shirt? That's the question. Do I have the right to not wear the shirt because of my belief system? Now here, I even go deeper. My religious belief system. The answer is yes, I have a right not to wear the shirt, and I won't wear the shirt. And under federal law, it makes it illegal for an employer to discriminate against an employee on the basis of religion, race, or national origin. You'll find this under Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Guarantee your rights to reasonable religious accommodations. And again, the religious accommodations, it doesn't necessarily constitute only wearing a beard and having a prayer rug and praying and hijab, so forth, so on. It's your belief system. If I believe in the Bible, my Bible, King James Version, and in King James Version they talk about the book of Leviticus, which explains about homosexuality, my interpretation, my King James Version. And if I stand on it religiously, why should I have to wear a shirt? And if I don't wear a shirt, should I get fired? Well, I just read you under the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Reasonable religious accommodations. And if I could go to the next level, fairness in hiring, firing, and promotions. And I could even go deeper under non-hostile work environment. Now, if I don't wear that shirt, are you going to be hostile to me, Mr. Employer? Are you going? Because if you're going to be hostile because I didn't wear that shirt because of religious reasons, I'm not saying anything towards the LGBT community. I'm just not wearing the shirt because I don't support it. Religiously, my religion states that I'm a heterosexual man and I'm in a heterosexual relationship. And I stand as a heterosexual person. Religiously, my religion is different from your ideologies. So, am I going to be fired? Now, are you going to discriminate me because I'm a heterosexual? Because I don't want to wear the shirt. I don't support it. I can respect your ideologies as a homosexual. You have your belief system, I have mine. I will infringe on yours, you don't infringe on mine. But when the employer wants to tell me I have to wear it, now you're infringing my rights under religious practices, religious belief systems. Now that's a potential lawsuit. That's a human rights issue in the US of A. Under the US Constitution and under the Civil Rights Act. And I can even dig up many different local laws before I even get to the federal laws, how you infringing my rights as a heterosexual man or a heterosexual person. What say you? And if I could go deeper, because let's go with the chain of command in the US of A. You have local laws, you have state laws, you have federal laws, and what's above that? International law. That even countries have to respect and obey. Countries cannot perform criminal acts and just get away with it because there's a charter under the UN. And me, if I claim myself as an indigenous person, which I do, I can, under the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, there's articles within that charter from part 1 to 46. The indigenous people have the right to the full and effective enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms recognized in the Charter of the United Nations and the Universal Declarations of Human Rights and International Human Rights Law. As Part 1, Section 1. I'm not going to read you all the charts, all the rights here within the charter here. But indigenous individuals and people are free and equal to all other individuals and people in dignity and rights, and have the right to be free from any kind of adverse discrimination, in particular that based on their indigenous origin or identity. Now, I fall as an indigenous person. I am native. My bloodline is native to the land. Don't think it's just light-skinned red Indians that was here in America. Your original Indians was dark-skinned. Let's not forget that. And I do have a native bloodline, so I can stand on that all day, every day. Cherokee all the way. Just saying, I could tap into that side. That's why I'm reading that. But for the people that is not under that charter, you can still deal with the federal, state, and local laws. So guess what? There's laws, there's boundaries for everyone. You can't be on the job because you're a homosexual, sashaying all over the place and pushing your ideologies indirectly or directly because you're being offensive. And again, if I'm offended because I don't want to wear a shirt from the rainbow community, that's offensive to me because of my religious practices, my religious belief system. Now we have a problem, Mr. Employer. And anyone that feel their rights is being infringed as a heterosexual person, remember you have rights too. And that just because they are homosexual, they still have boundaries. There's still laws that apply to them too. They cannot bully as well. They cannot push their agenda, infringe their rights, and be offensive neither. Just remember that. And remember, if you have an issue, because again, jobs like to overlook that because they just like to put the flags all over the place, and the flags in your room, flags in your office, just flags everywhere, everyone wearing a shirt, and just, it could be offensive, but people don't want to say something because then they feel they're going to be considered bullying, and a hate crime will be issued with that. So many weird things, all because you stand on your religious practice. And people don't like that. You're supposed to accept everything and anything because certain groups said so. Because the government is weird like that, so they just say it's just one way. So you just have to take everything. My children have to have the rainbow flag scattered in the room, all over the room, and we just and heterosexual people just supposed to accept it. So if let's say for example, I put a Black Panther flag all over the room, the classroom. Just let's say, I bet it will be taken down. When you're dealing with school, the job of the teacher, whether they are trans gentlemen, trans whatever, transgender, whatever, or homosexual in general, their job is to teach. That's it. Not to infringe their belief system. But too many within schools, they pushing it. They have books all over the place on homosexuality, two men together, two women together. And we just supposed to take that. But if we want to be fair and balanced, I mean, let's just say if you might as well have books saying you have a right to be a fly or an elephant. Heck, they got now pedophilia is growing more and more. You got grown men saying, I'm not 40 years old. I feel like an 18-year-old. So it gives me a right to deal with underage. This is the agenda that's being pushed out. So if we want to make this wide open, let's just put books in the school saying we feel like to be something. We might as well have books saying, a man write a book saying, I feel, and let me backtrack. We might as well have these books just put out in the libraries at schools. Everybody be whatever they want to be. So nobody knows if they're a man or a woman or it's he, she, he, min, he, we, he. We might as well have books on everything. Everything is wide open. Where's the boundaries? Where's the order? There has to be some type of boundary, structure. You just can't be anybody any day. You just can't put books on whatever. Because if we're going to go that rabbit hole, then might as well put porn in schools. Straight up. Already you have trans gentlemen have bars sprinkled throughout USA, have little kids going to trans gentlemen bars. So where's the boundaries? It gotta be a line drawn in the sand. Gotta be parameters somewhere, somehow. It just can't be just whatever. It's getting retarded out here. Again, where's the structure? You don't know if this man is a woman. He's dressed. We think he's a man, but he's really a woman. Started out as a woman, changed back to being. Now he's a man. Now he's thinking about going back to a woman. What's all of this? You got these type of people. Where's the structure? If you want to be that type of person, personally, it's bad enough. That's infringing my rights as a heterosexual. That I just got to see that, and that's around me. But guess what? In public view, I have no ground. So you do what you do, I do what I do. But where's the parameters teaching our babies? Where's the parameters at the job? Let's continue with the job. So we have a men's and women's bathroom. So a trans gentleman could be in the woman's bathroom. Isn't that offensive? Some women don't want that. In their minds, in the woman's mind, they think it's a man in there. It's not original woman. It's a man still coming into their bathroom, I should say. And they offended. Should they have a right to be offended? Being a heterosexual woman? Now, I know a few of you women don't, it's like whatever. But there's a great amount of women religiously don't want a man, even though he's trans, in the woman's bathroom, especially at work. They offended. Do they have a right to be offended? Under their religious belief system? Do their being offended counts? Does it matter? Should it matter? But the trans gentleman rights is put out on Front Street all day. He, she can do whatever and is supported. But you mean to tell me a heterosexual woman or man's rights doesn't matter? Where are we going with this? Should a heterosexual man be offended when a trans, I'm getting confused already, when a woman dressing like a man is in the man's bathroom? But see, men is a little different in terms of thinking. We like overlook a lot of things, let things slide. But here's the scenario. Men in the bathroom might be talking nonsense. A woman dressing like a man comes in. She hears the man talks in the bathroom at work. But we thinking this is a man. But no, this is a woman dressing like a man. She goes to HR and says she's offended because she heard men talking men talk. Well, why would you be offended? I thought you was a man. You started out as a woman, but you're a man now. Why would you be offended off of man talk? I'm not going to get into details about that because there's so many different scenarios, but all of this sounds very confusing. If it's confusing to you, it's definitely confusing to me. That's why I'm saying this, trying to say this slowly. Because again, there's no parameters, there's no boundaries. Everybody is whatever. And I'm speaking specifically at the job. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. And I don't agree with all of this. Confusion. I don't like being confused. So I'm not in agreement of is Pride Month your month. It's not my month. It's not my month. Now again, can I have that respect factor? The respect factor is I'm not going to infringe on your rights, and I'm not going to do any bodily harm, and I'm not going to verbally abuse you per se, because I don't care what you do. But I tell you one thing, if you're trying to bully me, you get bullied back. Because you're not going to just infringe your rights because you're a homosexual at the job, and I'm supposed to just accept everything and anything. And a lot of people are scared of with their job, figuring they will get fired and so forth, so on. Well, I just gave you a little tidbit of the laws that you can investigate your local, state, and federal levels. Because sometimes you have to fight back, you heterosexual men and women, and let the job know or the manager know that you're not accepting that and that's not you. On a religious level, make sure you say that. Utilize the law that is already put out here. But if you go on and say I hate, now you have a problem. Now you can potentially infringe the rights of the homosexual community. Because you hate something could lead on to something greater. And you don't want that. You don't agree. You have all right to not agree. You have every right not to accept. Is it within the Constitution? Under the belief system, you have rights to your own religion, freedom of speech, despite the laws being liquefied, I say. It's still within the law. It's just the thing about it is a lot of people are scared to fight back because, again, people got to work, takes time out, we got to make a living. I get it because there's so much heavy pushback. But I don't care, personally. But that's me, though. That's me. I'll bring this up within human resources, like in a heartbeat. What I'm telling you is the same thing I will print out and show human resources. Do I have rights? First of all, I'll ask human resources. Do I have rights as a person? Yes. Do I have rights as long as I respect another party? Do I have rights based on religion, my religious beliefs? Do I have rights? Yeah, they go him and her. Well, you do. But you don't make sure you don't push it on someone else or get violent. Quickly they want to flip that. You say, as long as I'm not violent and I keep to myself, do I have a personal belief, rights to my own personal belief that I keep to myself? Meaning that I stay in my lane, that person stay in their lane. But if they're infringing rights on me, under the law, I'm offended. I'm offended. And I'm being offended, I'm not comfortable. And in this day and time, that definitely red flag a situation. You're offended. People at the job can carry whatever, they can wear whatever they want, but they cannot touch me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't say anything to me that will infringe my rights. Don't put down my religion, my way of life. I'm just here to do a job. But if you heterosexual men and women feel that you are offended, that easily could be tied in to human rights law. Easily. Now, if I said just call the word just outright as a heterosexual person, call a man, say, you faggot, cigarette, then that is a problem. Verbal abuse. You got to know how to play this game, people. And definitely in schools, I would be arguing with the teachers every day. I'd be on their case every day. They wouldn't like me. So what? Making sure why this flag is in front of, why this is pushed. What's the problem with this? Oh, well, it's Pride Month and this and that. We just want to make people comfortable here. That is, pride and this and that. To a certain degree, they can do certain things like that, but I can also have a pushback. Why is the flag put here in class? In the classroom where my children see. I'm teaching my children one way. And everything should be fair and balanced. Well, Mr. Greatness, because, we trying to make everyone comfortable within the school And you got people here belong to the LGBT community, and again, we got to show support. And if we don't show support, then there's a problem and this and that. Okay, you do that. They put a flag up top on the rooftop of the building or on the pole and all of that stuff. All right. You want to play that? Okay. Well, Mr. Greatness, Black History Week, we do talk about, Malcolm X, or no, I'm sorry, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, because always Black History Month, Martin Luther King, that's about it. Martin Luther King. Black History Month, start out Martin Luther King. February 4th, Martin Luther King. February 15th, Martin Luther King. Okay, the end of the month, the 28th, Martin Luther King. Love starting out with Martin Luther King. And I had a dream. That's it. I had a dream and Martin Luther King. That's mostly that's 70, 80% of the conversation Black History Month. And show a picture of Martin Luther King. They not gonna mention Malcolm X a lot, just maybe a quick, Malcolm X, but because he was radical, no, not as much. But most people, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, that's it. And that's the Black History Month that is stretched out, and do a lot of singing and a lot of hymns, and then, it's over. But Pride Month, we got parades, rainbows all over the place, sashaying all over the place, schools and jobs, and okay, we're gonna be fair and balanced, really fair and balanced. How about you put a black flag? Let me see the same energy you have now. Support heavy. Have the black parades. You support that all over North America, the black flags. Now, some people say, well, we do have, but it doesn't have the same energy as this month. If you're going to flood the places with flags and rainbows, I need that same energy for you to flood the whole school and with Black history. And not only Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, other black inventors, Garrett Morgan, George Washington Carver. Talk about other black leaders, Francis Cress Welsing. Black literature. Flags all over the place. Heavy. With the same energy as you have Pride Month. I want to see white people bouncing and dancing and chanting, seeing the black flags. How about that? How about talk about the history of the Black Panther Party? I mean, regardless of you liking them or don't, but there's a history behind it. They started helping the black community and feeding the black community. Started in Oakland, California. Let's get heavy with that. Not that only, but black history across the world. If you're going to have that same energy, but it's not. Just a little bit, just a little bit. You have most schools just touch and go with Black History Month. They don't get heavy. They put a lot of dancing and singing and foods that's associated with the black experience. You don't talk about how black inventors built things, traffic light, washer and dryer. You don't get heavy like that as you're getting heavy with Pride Month. It's ridiculous out here with the ideologies. If you're going to make this one thing, I believe in fair and balance. But let's be for real, it's not fair and balanced. Because in reality, now my personal opinion, because there's an agenda. See, here's why I'm saying there's an agenda. See, as the homosexual community rises and more people become homosexual or trans or crossover, whatever, then this is my opinion, population control. One way of population control. You have men and women won't be unified anymore. Men go their separate ways, women go their separate ways. Men find compatibility and love with other men, and women find compatibility and love with other women. This is what it is today. It's shown every day. It shows within the court system. The courts put the pressure on the man. The woman put the pressure on the man because she's influenced with the court system. And the men go away. How many times you hear that within the court system? It goes on every day how the court system put the pressure on the man and with child support and whatever. And then you have certain men that just totally walk away from the situation because they just don't want their dignity and their mental health to be infringed. And the woman is now alone with the children, and then 6 months later you find out she's a dyke. She's okay, pardon me for that, but I use the street terminology. She's a lesbian. Or she crossed over, she's a bisexual. She's now loving women now. Now she got children from a man. Now she crossed over and she have a female girlfriend that's playing the role as the quote-unquote man. How many incidences we all know? Let's be for real, guys. This is what we see. And when you have that situation, guess what? You don't have no family structure no more. Which is a better family structure, a more natural structure? I'm asking y'all guys. A woman, a healthy relationship, a healthy woman, a man and woman relationship, or two men relationships, or two women relationships, which is more healthier? Don't give me examples, what you've seen, blah, 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 which is overall more healthier. We came into this planet Earth, this thinking planet Earth, a boy or a girl, for the most part. For 99.9%. Are they hermaphrodites? Beings with two genitalias? Absolutely. Weird stuff like that. But overall, boy or girl grows up to be a man or a woman. That's the structure in life. That's the natural order in life. But see, the way this society conditions us, There's more than two genders. You could be whatever you want. And it all points for the flexibility of the LGBT to the Q to the fifth power community. It puts them in a favorable situation. And they implement these new laws to put the stamp of approval to make it more favorable for them. Because being a heterosexual man or woman has become a dying art. That's why modern day women is conditioned to effeminize their sons at an early age, and they don't even realize they feminizing them by keeping them away from any strong man. That's why the single mothers is becoming more and more single mothers out here, and they effeminize it. They are built in their head through society to start out young and effeminize their boys, and they swear in their mind they're doing an excellent deed and they know what they're doing, and these boys be feminine and ushered into the LGBT community. Now you have fresh new homosexuals. I know you don't like hearing that, but that's one of many avenues. And the young girls become lesbians or bisexuals because being bi in this day and time is promoted. And even is promoted in the psyche of men to accept bisexuals. So we usher in fresh new homosexuals into the LGBTQ to the fifth power world. See, so is this an agenda or what? See, how things just changed in a 40, 50 year period to such a low level where 40, 50 years ago you had family structure. You had some homosexuality in the 40s and the 60s, so forth. Sure you did. But how it just changed up. From in the early 1970s, it was considered a mental illness, to now it's celebrated to such a high degree, nobody knows what type of gender they are anymore. So is Pride Month your month? It's not my month. It could be your month. Do whatever you want. So nowadays it's even pushed where people is trying to govern your house. Tell you don't have rights to your belief system in your house. That is even pushed slowly. Because if you, I tell you how. Because if you say in your house you don't have, let's say for example, in your house, you don't want homosexuals in your house. Now people say, well, how you know? But if you find out, they're not welcome. Oh, that's discrimination. Oh. But this is my house. Do I have a right to invite and allow to stay in my house? Well, that's backwards thinking. I'm not saying I agree, disagree, whatever, but I'm just using that as an example. If I say that I don't want homosexuals in my house, well, what if people say, if we don't want black person in your house, in my house, I should say. Is that right? So what? That's your house. You have every right to invite whoever you want or allow a person to be in your house. Whenever, whoever. You have that right. I give you an example. I don't want nobody in the house that smokes. or smoking in my house. I put it like this. You cannot come in my house and smoke of any kind in my house. Any kind. If you come to my house and visit, you better just hold off until you leave my house. But you cannot smoke anything of any kind in my house. I don't care. You can say I'm a smoker, I need my smoke. Well, smoke outside, away from my house, or you can't come in. You're not welcome. That's mean. You're so backwards thinking. Get with the times. Well, guess what? That's the problem. There's no times nowadays, meaning there's no structure, no balance, no drawing a line in the sand, no parameters, as I mentioned previously. You got to set something in your household before even outside. But again, people just like whatever, do whatever, whenever. But back to the Pride Month. Is it your month? You see, this is what it is within society. And with all, let's be for real. With all of these new open opportunities, or openness, I should say, not even opportunities, but abilities to be whoever you want to be. Everything is so wide open. But we living in the times of mental illness is in an all-time high. Well, people are going to say in the yesteryears people had mental illness, but it's just so bad out here. People don't know if they're coming or going. With all of this new freedoms we have, is it benefiting us in this day and time? Are families becoming more together? Are the children stable-minded? With all of these Pride months and LGBTQ, how is this society doing overall, this North America? Chaos. Nobody know who they are. We sexual deviants doing all kinds of ungodly things. And it's getting even deeper. And guys, watch for the bestiality movement. That's growing too. And the pedophilia movement, that's growing too. I mean, everything's wide open, so it makes an opportunity. People promote. Yeah, I can have sex with animals. It's no problem. They belong to me. That retarded stuff. Everything, again, is wide open. You already could say is something called trans age. Trans age, which I mentioned earlier. You 40 years old, but you feel like you're 16. So that gives you every right to want to deal with a 16-year-old because you feel like a 16-year-old. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? Soon they're going to have their flag if they don't have it already set up already. Well, we're going to have the bestiality flag too? Where are we going with this? Any room for the heterosexual men and women anymore? So everything is just wide open. It's whatever. No. There's certain boundaries that I'm going to stand on, and I already know what it is. Basically, I always got to stay off the grid. And many of you individuals, you've watched the movie The Matrix. It's going to be many of you that have to be off the grid to the best of your ability, have multiple streams of income off of the grid, options, different places to live, because guess what? It's going to get even worse, and you will be ostracized for having talking points and stand on your belief system, and you're going to be squeezed out, because you're going to be squeezed out by your family, friends, and foe that celebrates pride and celebrates everything about it and everything. And if you stand on your square and say you have your own belief system, you're considered old, outdated, laughed at, talk about, and that's what it will be. This is actually prophesized anyway. For all you Bible readers or read the Torah or the Quran, this is part of the prophecy. Sons turn against fathers, fathers turn against sons, daughters against fathers, blah, blah, blah. You can see it within the family structure. I bet you have somebody, family or friend or foe, somebody you know that's part of this alphabet community. I know I do. It is what it is. The more you stand on your square and have a certain belief system, the more you're going to be alone and prepared to have limited friends, family, and foe. That's just how it is. And you heterosexual men out here, you better, I'm saying this with a capital B, you better have options. You better have multiple options, from streams of income to places to live just in case, places to get food, or places. You better, just because the whole system, everything around you is pride. Even the law is pride. Government, local, federal, state, provincial, international, pride. Why? That's what it is. So, this is where we stand, and it's frustrating, I know, because you feel your rights as a human being, as a heterosexual man, is being infringed, bullied, low-key bullying. You have no rights, you have no say-so, you just got to accept everything and anything what people say. And it's turned around on you like you the bad guy. That's the game plan. That's the game plan. You just have to know this is a cold world. You just have to know how to play this game. Utilize the laws and turn it on society. The laws that's out here. Utilize the system that's around you. Sometimes in the art of war, you can't fight with aggression, because people is expecting that. You can fight in a passive way and be effective. It's a yin and a yang. People come hard, you soft, hard, back and forth, pause. I don't know why I say that. It's just people say it. But you have to have that mindset in this day and time. So is this Pride Month your month? You decide. You finish the story. And the guys, I need your guys' support. The Greatness 19 channel on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. As well as Mr. Evolution of London. And subscribe to the Oracle 19 podcast. And as mentioned, on all major platforms. Again, this is war season for you individuals, for you enlightened individuals. So, tread lightly. Tread lightly. Thank you for listening.